Hi guys, so I'm going to be sharing with us 10 must-have plugins for UI UX designers. The first one is Lumi. Lumi is a plugin that helps you to get free images, mostly generated by AI. So when you want to use it, just type Lumi. Right, Lumi, and just open it up and it will load all the images available. You can also search by keywords, right? You can also filter like categories. You can see animals, beauty, and all. So I can just come here and check through the images. If I don't want to use a specific keyword, I can just select this one, select it, and it will load it into my file. You can see it's adding the image now. You can see. Okay, I selected this what's it called, layer. That's why it's loaded it into the frame. So I'm just going to do Ctrl+Z and just load it outside of the frame so that you can see it. Yeah, so this is the image. And one thing I like about Lumi is that their images are sharp. The resolution is quite high. You can see how bright and how clear the images are, and they are also, and the images are royalty free, so you can use them on commercial projects and personal projects. They also have a website where you can download the images depending on the one that works for you, but I love using their plugins. I also made a video on platforms where you can download free royalty images to use for your projects if you don't have enough budget for premium pictures or images. So this is it. They have lots of images here. The next one is Freepik. Freepik is also a plugin for, Freepik has a website. I talked about it in my previous video, and they also have a plugin, right? I use their plugin most of the time when I'm working. So it's where you can also quickly get images that you need, right? So let's say I want maybe like general image, abstract images. You can see all the amazing images they have. Let's say I want to use this one, right? I can just take this and use it in my design and it will come out great, right? You can see, can come out great. You can see how beautiful the images are. You can use images of people, or you can just search, right? You can just do like random search and say maybe like guy, and it will show you images of men or guys that are there that you can use for your project. Just click, or maybe you create a rectangle or maybe a container and then using them. Yeah, so it will load it in this place and you will use it for your project. So that's it for Freepik. Don't forget to check it out. Then the next plugin is also an image plugin for Unsplash. The same way you go and search for Freepik, the same way you search for Freepik, search for Unsplash and then open it up. So this is the plugin, you run it and you open it up also for getting images. The reason I actually selected 3 of these platforms is that imagery is very, very important in design. And it's one of the elements that you can't do without in your design. Like you can't do without images, right? So I have like variety of platforms where I get images. You can say flowers, right? And it will show you all the images of flowers. This is Unsplash, so you have like variety of platforms where you can get, but my best so far for this plugin is Lumi, right? So you guys can check it out. Then once you get image, there are some times that you want to create your own custom background. That's where background removers come in. Like we have Icons 8 background remover. So you just come to your plugin and type Icons 8. Yeah, background remover, and then run it. So background remover, once you select the image, let's open it again. So background remover, you open the background remover. You can choose to open it on their website, but I like running it here. So once you select the image that you want to remove the background, it will remove the background for you. See, it has removed it, but it's not really perfect, right? Not quite perfect, but you can actually like walk around it and maybe like modify it to get what you want, but it's not perfect yet. I believe they will keep updating the plugin till it gets better than this, right? But if you want to remove the background image of your pictures or image, background, the background of your images, you can use that plugin. So let's continue with icons, with this Iconly Pro, right? Iconly Pro is a plugin for icons. One thing I like about it is that it has like variety of icons that you can use. You have bold icons, you have outline, you have toner icons, you have two tones, you have a lot of them. You can see light, you can see light bold, you can see broken, you can see bulk, you can see two tones, right? And you can see like regular edges, you can see sharp edges and curved edges. So let's see, if you just want to use, just select the icon and it will load it inside your file, right? If you want bold, you can select. If you want the outline, just select the outline and then it will filter out. If you want the one with sharp edges, you can select the icons with sharp edges. If you want the one that with rounded edges, you can select the one with rounded edges. So it's like amazing icon pack with over 6,000 icons that you can explore for your projects. That's one thing I love about the icons, right? So you can just check it out and then explore it. Then the next one is material symbol. Material symbol is one of my best icon families. I've been using it. Like I use it on almost all my projects, right? My material symbols. So one thing I like about it is, let's say I search for email. Let me search for email, and this is email. The thing there is that I don't need to start selecting, searching, or all those things for me to be able to modify this. I can just select it like the way it is and then modify it on the, I can just take it. I say, okay, I don't want outline. I can just turn it to fill and it will change it to fill. I don't want it to be outline. I want it to be rounded. You can see it makes it rounded. I don't want the weight to be 400. I want it to be 700 and it makes it older, right? I don't want it to be normal. I want it to be for dark theme, right? You can see it's already in dark theme mode. If I say light theme or normal, it's going to be like that as well. So I can just click here and then modify the icon or change the one I want. That's one of the things I love about material icon. You can do 4DP. You can see how big it is, 48 pixels. You can do 24 pixels. So depending on the sizes that you want, you can just modify the sizes and all those things here. You can choose to take it back to right off outline. So you can see the outline is big. I can choose to modify the outline from 700 to 400, which is normal. You can make it like really very thin. You can see how thin it is. So that's one thing I love about material symbols. You guys can check it out for your icons and then explore it. Then the next one is smooth shadows. Smooth shadows helps you to create like really amazing shadows for your design. Instead of you to shadows, smooth, okay, I think I have it here. Look at it, smooth shadows. So instead of you to start creating the shadows from scratch, you can just like create it here, modify some of the values here, and you create your shadows. You can see I'm not doing too much. And see, I've been able to create the shadow I want. And as you're doing it, you can see all the shadow values here. So you can actually go in, can select and go in and modify it if you don't like the result that you got here. It might be the opacity that you want to reduce, but you can see how smooth the shadow is, right? And the thing there is that most times people find it difficult to create really smooth or maybe like good looking shadows. This plugin will help you to sort that out. To check it out, you might like it. Then the next one is Lottie Files. Lottie Files is very, very is an interesting plugin because you use it to like get animated elements like loaders, like anything you can think of, illustration. So like when you're working on a project, but you will need to sign up. So once you log in, you can see like animated elements that they have here, like this one. Look at this one, really cool. Maybe let's say you are creating something that has to do with maybe someone typing. This is really nice. And the beautiful thing about it is that you can actually modify the colors and the everything the way you want, right? It's really cool. You can create customized what's it called, colors, and you really, really like it. So let's say you are designing something and maybe you want to create a success screen. Just type success, right? Just type success and it will load all the elements that they have for success. Here you can see the success animated elements. So you might want to exploit it. It actually kind of gives life, like makes your design more fun than just having static elements all around, right? So you might want to try out Lottie Files. Then the next one is Color Foundation. This is one of my best plugins because it just helps me to analyze my colors when I'm designing, or maybe when I'm creating a design system for a project. So let's say I'm working on a project, Color Foundation here. I just have maybe like, this is my secondary color, right? Let's say this is my secondary color, or maybe my primary color. Let's say this is my primary color, and I want to generate variations of the color. I want to generate different shades and tints of the color, right? I don't have to start doing it from scratch. Like within seconds, this plugin can help you generate all those things. And one of the things I like to as well is that it uses like top design system guides like Material Design, Atlassian, Orbit, and Ant Design. So you might want to check out the ones you want. The one I normally use is Material Design, right? Because it breaks down the color from 50 to 900, 900 being the darkest, right? So from light to dark. So let's say this is the color I want to work with. I just copy the code right here and then put it here. So what name do you want to call it? You want to call it blue. So I'm just going to call it primary, right? Let's say I want to call it primary, right? And I enter. Now, one of the things that you also have to know is that it can actually create color styles for you. You can create styles. When you create styles, you're going to have like the styles registered or maybe saved on your files. But I've not been using styles for a while now since they launched variables. So I prefer using variables because variables basically help me to maybe like switch my colors and maybe like do a whole lot of things. Like I can just move from light mode. Let's say I'm moving I created two modes, right? 2 mode styles for my colors. I can just move from dark mode to light mode. You can see the way it's just switching like that, right? Because all the colors have been created. You can see the light mode colors. You can see the dark mode colors, right? So that's why I don't use styles anymore, style colors anymore. I prefer using variables. So that being said, I still use this plugin to just maybe like walk around my colors. How do I mean? So if I want to create or save my save my color variables, what I do is just to select the color and create palette, right? I just select it and create palette instead of creating styles. Remember, it's different. So I select palette. It gives me all the color palettes. And the thing about this plugin is that it also analyzes the contrast ratio for you. It gives you the contrast score for this color when you combine it with either black or white. It tells you that when you use black on this color, right? When you use black on this color, the score is going to be 18.44, but when you use white, it's going to be 1.4, which is actually very poor. When you go to the darkest color, it tells you that when you use white on this shade of the color, it's going to be 13 plus 5, which is AA. That means it passes the contrast check. But when you use black, it's not going to come out well. The contrast is going to be poor. So that's one of the things I like it. And it also narrows and breaks down the hex code for you, breaks down RGB for you in case you want to maybe like use it to create maybe like presentation, something. This is really a very nice plugin to check out, right? So back to what I was discussing about the having, like, creating the palette. So with this palette I created now, I can just go to my variable and then start adding the color, or what's it called, color styles to it, color palettes to it. So let's say primitive, I just have primary, I save it as primary, I add color, I say color, and then I just come here and say, okay, primary, and just come here, select the color and save it. Right, I've saved it under my primitive. If I go back to my tokens, I can then use it to create, tokenize the color to whatever I want to use it for. I think I'll make a video on how to do this. If you guys want me to do that, just leave a comment. I'll maybe like do a video on the variable something. So that's it for color foundation. The next plugin, I think, is our last one, is content reel. Content reel, you want to say, is one of the oldest plugins so far, right? All these other ones are kind of new, but content reel has been here for a long time. So I can just type content reel. One of the unique things about content reel is that you can actually get any type of content that you actually want, right? You can get images, you can get icons. You get icons. I'm not sure I've used, yeah, you can get icons, you can get text, right? Let's say you are designing something, and let's use this as an example, and you just want to get a random name. I can just select this and then select it, and it will give me a random, like, I go to what's it called, text, or name. Let's use name. Let's go to text, and then you can see it's just generating random names for me. Let's say you are creating something that has to do with like names of people. You can see just generate random name. You can generate address, you can generate phone number, you can generate like currency for you. For those that maybe like always looking for where to get like currency sign, this is one of the ways, this is one of the tricks around it. Just type it and then type the number that you are doing. You can also generate text, right? Okay, we talked about text. Well, beyond that, you can actually generate, let's say you are writing a copy, right? You need a copy that you want to use as maybe like a supporting copy. Let me change this to black, right? What you can just do is to come here and then go to type lorem ipsum. I think they have lorem ipsum part. Okay, let's go back. Yeah, lorem ipsum, you can generate like random text that you want to use for your text copy. So it's just like all in one plugin. You can generate avatars. I can just draw elements here and generate avatars. Maybe I want female avatar. You can see if I can just generate from here. I can just generate avatars from here. You can see the way it's just coming up with avatar. You can also have like random logos that you want to use for your design, but I mostly use it for avatars. And if you are using like images from content reel, you have to use it for like small and tiny size image. If you check now, if you use it for large images, it's going to look pixelated. So if you are using it for images with maybe like 32 px or 48 px, you can see it comes out much better there, right? Because nobody's going to be zooming through those those tiny images just to see how they are. But when you want to use like for large size images, you can check out the other plugins that we discussed. I think this is the end of this. There are so many other plugins, but this is must-have plugins for you as a UX designer to make your work easier and also to speed up your work. I hope this helps. Thank you for staying to the end. Thank you for staying to the end of the video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.